Hey guys, Mubarak here, Van Penny Stock. Hope you're doing well. In this video, I want to talk to you guys about the top pot or cannabis stocks in 2020. All right, weed stocks have been all the rage for the last year or two, and they're continuing to trend in an upwards direction, but with a lot of volatility in the market. Okay, so just to give you a brief overview, when I talk about pot stocks or weed stocks, it's kind of a small compilation of three different types of stocks. Okay, one is the growers, okay, the ones that people are actually talking about, the companies that are growing their own cannabis and making that black hat world legal, okay, and that's stuff like Aurora, Canopy Growth, those types of companies. Now, shockingly, or maybe understandably, those companies are actually doing the worst in this market because the actual prices of the cannabis has become, in terms of compliance costs, too high for them to operate effectively. And they still have competition from all the black hat and illegal drug market and gray market. And so they're just having a tough time revving up to be profitable, right? So that's why a lot of those stocks have taken a hit, all right? On the other side of it, there's CBD stocks. Now you have to understand CBD is not weed. It's not THC. It doesn't have the whole psychoactive ingredient. And so it's almost put into its own type of sphere. But for the sake of this video, I wanted to kind of give exposure to the different industries so that if you were a new investor, you could understand what people are referring to. Because, on the internet at least, or amongst different social groups and trading groups, a lot of times the CBDs, the growers, and the third category, which I'm going to go into, is all clumped together. So the third one is all cannabis-related ancillary products and everything in between. So you got MedMen, which is a dispensary, right? You have some cannabis REITs. You have different, again, you have the vertically, if I say vertically integrated, what that means is that it has every type of the chain. So it's a company that has growing facilities, processing facilities, filling, so they'll make the actual weed products like joints or whatever else is utilized, and then they'll sell it into an actual store or have their own store. So vertically integrated, right? So that's what that means. And so in this video, I want to talk to you guys about the three best ones that I would keep an eye out for 2020, given the trajectory of the markets, the volatility, and understanding where this is going, right? Currently, I'm a VP of finance in a multi-million-dollar company in this space, and so I have a lot of exposure to the top players and the moving parts of the industry. So this is, again, not investment advice, purely educational, but hope you know where it's coming from. So first one, CWBHF. Now, one thing to keep an eye out for is that anytime you see a stock ticker with an F at the end, what that means is foreign, okay? And usually it's the fifth letter in the symbol, but you don't have to worry about it because a lot of these weed stocks or cannabis stocks are like this because they actually are a public company in Canada, right? So they're on the TSX, which is the Toronto Stock Exchange. And then they also, in order to finance themselves on the public markets of the United States, they'll list as a foreign entity on the stock market. So that's why they have 5 letters. Okay, and all of these are trading on the OTC markets. Again, the OTC stands for over the counter, and it's an important marketplace because it has the lowest regulations of compliance required in order for companies to go public on it. And the reason that's important is because it's both a good and a bad side. For the companies themselves, it's usually a good thing because that means they have to do less audits, less financial regulations, less legal compliance in order for them to get listed on the public markets. But from the investor side, you're a little confused because you have access to less information. So these companies are telling you that they're not going to be giving all the information audited and everything like that. So you have to be a little bit more risky in your investing, but that also allows you to be in a place where you can find kind of untapped gems. And that's what I want to talk about today. So the first one I'm going to be covering is CWBHF, which is Charlotte's Web. It's a CBD company. Okay? They're one of the probably best ones, but I wouldn't say just because of performance. The reason they're the most interesting is because they just have the most attention and brand awareness in the space to them as a CBD company. And the reason that's important is because just like any new industry, there's always going to be a few key players at the top of the stratosphere that'll always get the most attention just because they were the first movers. Okay, it doesn't mean that they're operationally the best. It doesn't mean that their management team is the best. It doesn't mean that their financials is the best. All it has to do with the fact that they have the most attention of the press, and they're almost treated as like the index mover. They're utilized as the North Star that, okay, if this stock is going up, then the whole industry is going up, right? So that's why I bring attention to this one, because that one affects the entire kind of CBD markets. Now, what I have here is the average price that it's trading at the date of this recording is around $7. And in parentheses, what I have is the highest stock price that it's gone to in the last year or so. So just in the past year, this Charlotte's Web holding ticker was trading at around $24 at a max. And the reason I like that is because what it tells you is that the stock is trading at an all-time low, which means that you could be getting it at a discount, right? Now, I want to be this full disclosure. It also could just mean that it's a bad stock and it's just going to keep going down. But, you know, I a lot of the times, especially for long-term holds, if you're looking to trade the Warren Buffett method, it's pretty confident that this company is going to be around, whether as itself, whether it gets acquired. It's always going to be a key player in the industry, just like Coca-Cola, you know? And that's kind of how I look at these types of stocks. So if you agree with that, then that makes sense. If not, you can do your own due diligence. I just wanted to present it to you that these are the top 3 CBD weed pot stocks to look at for in 2020. The second one is NXTTF. Again, same thing with that 5th letter as an F. That means it's a foreign entity. In the same situation, it's on the OTC markets in the United States, and it's actively trading on the Toronto Stock Exchange currently because it's a Canadian company. The reason for that is because it's legal in Canada on a federal level. Unfortunately, in the United States, we haven't reached that level yet, and so it's trading like this. So NXTTF is Namaste Technologies, which was a big technology play, hardware play in the vape, cannabis, weed stock industry, and they did pretty well. You know, they're still trading at about 40 cents right now. I do believe that they're also here to stay. They were one of the, almost like the IBMs of the space, or even the Xerox maybe. You know, it could go either way. So what I mean by that is IBM is still today a big company, still very profitable. Xerox, unfortunately, should have been the next top dog billionaire, but they didn't do it right, and so they kind of failed. So that's how I treat Namaste Technologies. It's trading right now on around 40 cents, but as a top in the last year, it was at $2. And so the same kind of principles apply here, where I believe that you can get the top discount here because it's trading 80% lower than what it usually is. And then finally, what I would say is the third one is LHS, which is Liberty Health Sciences. Okay, and they are actually a very high revenue company. Just in the last year, they have 4x their quarterly revenue, and I think there's some great things that are going to come out of here. They just launched, I think, their 23rd medical marijuana dispensary, and they're growing all over Florida. They have some great deals coming along. They have great financing, a strong management team, and right now they're trading around 50 cents, but in the last year they went up above $1. So again, I would say it's almost at a 50% discount. So hope this kind of makes sense to you and you can start understanding some of the key players in the space. Over the next few months, I'll be updating the list as new stock comers come into the play, or if the revenues and financials and management teams of these companies change, because the landscape is always, especially in this industry, always changing. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Those are the top 3 weed or pot stocks you should look out for in 2020. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me or my team at admin, that's ADMIN, @inpennystock.com. Hope to hear from you guys soon. Take care.